Okay, it's a Monday and it's July 13th. It's a hot one outside as we continue the Modern Eater Show. Good show for you lined up today. Standing by Kelly Whitaker, Sonia Riggs at 2:20, and at 2:40 Carley Smith, the fairy Gutmother, and then we'll check in with Cody and Locateur. Brian Freeman in this place. How are you doing today, Brian?
Very well.
And Jay
Very
Parker,
well.
what's happening, Jay?
Yo, yo, yo.
We got Faith Johnson working on the website as we go along. Proud to report to you, this is the first time I've actually got my stuff together, but on a daily basis, all you have to do is go to themoderneater.com, click on our daily blog. You'll have the show rundown and then a few more notes and links from there. But our first guest, we'll bring him on right now. It is 2:01 in the Mile High City. And Chef Kelly Whitaker. Kelly, how are you? It's good to see your face. It's been a couple of
Doing
weeks.
super.
It's good.
Thanks, man.
You got some grains behind you, huh?
Yeah, those are totes of all Colorado grown heirloom wheat from the San Luis Valley.
You got a couple of cool announcements, but today, Grains and Flour is kind of the name of the game, and you're in the mill. Describe to people where you're at right now.
Yeah, so back in March, right kind of before things shut down, we signed on this location in it's out on Valmont in Boulder. I don't know if you're familiar with Boulder at all, but out by the skate park, the disc golf course. And so it's pretty small, but mighty mill. I mean, it's definitely a micro mill. We currently clean all the grain in Hooper and have it brought up. And we grow all of this with our farmer, Sarah Michael Jones, in the San Luis Valley. So, so this building, it's pretty fun. I'm going to just kind of pan you around. Can you see?
Yeah.
I want you to check this out, man. Do you want to do a little tour real quick?
Could we please?
And Kelly, tell us the
That's our
varietals
crew.
you're growing down there.
What's up, crew?
Yeah, so we have, there's the crew. There's Emily Philpott, amazing designer, eating some almonds from the farmer's market, I think. She's working on some packaging ideas. Tiffany, runs everything, the boss. And then Colton, our miller. Colton, say what up.
What's happening, Colton?
That hair. So yeah, we have here's some bags. Today is pretty exciting for us. We're about to send out our first wholesale offering. So here's the mill right now. It's a little sifter. This is a new American stone mill, about a 40-inch stone. But Brian, you were asking about the varietals. So here we have about 40,000 pounds. We have Rouge de Bordeaux, Icora Rojo, Sonoran. They all kind of have a name, these heirloom varieties.
Yep. And all like red winter wheat stuff, it sounds like, most of them. Oh, Kelly, we just lost your volume there.
No audio. Uh-oh. Took Kelly's audio from him. Maybe that's a quick thing.
Nope, that was me. Sorry, guys.
Nice. Got you back.
Wait, what were you saying?
I lost you. It sounded like all red winter sort of varietals.
No, it's actually spring. We planted this in the spring of last year. We harvested it last fall, and we've had it in silos, and then just recently got it cleaned and brought up. Once we weren't sure we were going to push this to market or what the timing would look like, but the demand for flour and kind of shut up over the shutdown. So we just kind of kept things moving along. So today, and tomorrow, we're launching wholesale to chefs.
So what does that look like? How do you, is there someone out there actively reaching out to chefs, or is that your job? Who's doing what? And
I have a pretty good mailing list. It's kind of like the collective effort of the four of us that you just saw. We all do kind of different things, but yeah, a lot of emails, mostly, and a lot of calls.
So if folks start contacting us and saying, "Oh, I want to get a hold of Kelly," see if I can't get working with him. And what are your capabilities? How big? How small? What's your perfect customer?
We can handle some pretty large quantity. That mills about 100 pounds an hour. So on a good 8-hour day, we can do 8-10-hour day, we can do 1,000 pounds. So, but we're looking for people first that really care about what they're bringing in their back door. It's a real, I think it's a funny time to be offering product like this as restaurants are trying to rebuild, but it's also a time to sort of think about our supply chain, who we're buying from, why we're buying it. And so from that sense, I think this is an answer to a lot of things. It definitely helps our Colorado farmers. It helps the supply chain overall. And yeah, so we, even though it might not be the most opportunistic time, it kind of is for us.
Well, and Kelly, I heard you say you're doing stone ground, and I know
Mm-hmm.
your sort of philosophy. You probably want to make sure that you're getting everything fresh milled to order, aren't you?
Yeah, so orders get placed by Monday. We mill and deliver to Denver on Thursday.
Wow.
Boulder on Wednesday. Yeah, everything's milled to order.
So, folks that are just tuning in right now, Chef Kelly Whitaker with us right now, and just catching up on a few things. We'll talk about Wolf's, Tailor, and Basta here in a minute, but grains, we're inside the mill right now, right? I mean, taking a look, Jay wanted you to climb up to the rafters there and just kind of jump down with a knife and rip open a bag, but that's the content guy wanting something.
It's pretty fun, man. I've never, buying a forklift was fun. So these are all new things for me as a cook and as a restaurant owner. But the warehouse is fun. I'm trying to figure out where we're gonna put like the basketball goal and the skate ramp, and make it super fun.
Well, and Kelly, I want to geek out a little with you real quick. Would you guys ever do any sprouted grains?
Yeah, I mean, even in the letter I'm writing right now to the chefs, I talk about that sort of journey with grains. A lot of people that get into grains do so for bread, and rightfully so. Making great sourdough is important, but really our journey began like with just that: sprouting grains, fermenting grains, making grain risotto. It was I pretty much over the last 5-10 years in our restaurants, and then took that to another level with all the pastas and stuff we do at the Wolf's Tailor. But yeah, that's kind of been our journey. And then we reversed back with dry storage and our bakery. It's a small bakery here in Boulder. But like we didn't start with bread. We started as, line cooks at night trying to figure out what to do with the grains.
I love that. Well, it's interesting and I think you've seen a little bit of it, Kelly. We travel the state and like to get familiar with our agriculture here and visit farms and ranches and do that. But to have, chef and you, very closely tied to agriculture, are there any other agricultural opportunities that you'd like to see in order to bring that food chain even closer to you? As I'm trying to.
Yeah, I mean, well, the ones that we look at, I mean, I think that meat is a big one. Meat's always a challenge. And dairies is another one. I think about some great states that have some really epic dairies, and so there's, that would be a lot of fun to get a certain type of milk. But regulations and everything make it pretty difficult for all things, and price these days. But those are two things that I'd like to just keep exploring. We get some pretty good ranches though. We get a lot of good local meat. But like chickens, for example, like there's not a lot of places, and we love, breaking down chickens at Wolf's for yakitori. And, that's always one that, when I was working overseas, at a yakitori place, in Hong Kong, actually, there was it was a very specific chicken, a very specific breed, and it's pretty cool. But this, type of processing and all that stuff, again, it makes, doing chickens pretty difficult.
I want to, just because you're on the stream, I want to ask you this because this was kind of an internal debate that we had here. I got some footage, and I thought it was beautiful. I got away for the weekend to a place called Gray Wolf Resort in Victor, Colorado, and it's home of Rocky Mountain Organic Farms. There's a couple of guys there. One of the guys, Blake DeHuff. I don't know if you've met him yet, but he's just the guy that you would want to learn from about animals and just pick his brain and go back and forth. But and this is a very easy conversation in rural areas, but for urban environments and talking about it, we harvested some chickens. 4 chickens. It was for my birthday dinner. And, if you've harvested chickens, you know what to expect. But Blake did it beautifully. It was just, there was no, make light or notion of what we were doing, that it was just straightforward, to the point, ethically done, quickly, but it was the way that you take the chicken and you put its head on a block of wood that has a couple of nails in it to get its head pit. It was the way that you do it back with an axe. And the footage that I have of it, I don't think that we can share with folks because is it a sensitive nature. Now, me personally, I thought is perfectly fine, but there are other folks out there that may think that that's unethical to do. But anymore these days, just animals and raising ethical animals and harvesting them ethically, we look at some of these larger processing plants, and I personally think that that's a terrible way to go. And you don't know what's happening in there. But getting back to those notions of controlling your food chain, knowing where your food comes from, and possibly being able to do that yourself if need be. You know, your stuff's not born in a package on a shelf.
Yeah. And I mean, that's just the thing, you know, I always think about as a cook in Colorado, what would the food menus here look like if we were allowed to hunt or forage or process in a different way? I mean, it would just, you know, change every restaurant overnight to be able to have that sort of access.
So what would that look like, do you think? And would many people...
Yeah, I think, I mean, obviously we got some very talented chefs in Colorado. And I think that, you know, again, you're talking about sort of the utopia of like a Copenhagen or Scandinavia where, you know, all of a sudden, you know, that sort of, it's just like, I guess when I was a line cook in Los Angeles, it was the same thing, right? I could go to the farmer's market and I had so much access to that year round. And you can just go to LA and eat these restaurants and eat this fruit. And it's just pretty incredible. And we have that once a year, you know, here, you know, we get good stone fruit once a year and good melons once part of the year. And then, but it's very short lived. Hence why like the grain conversation became super important to me as a cook, because I was like, here's a product that can sort of shift my menus. And if I have 7 different types of grain or flour or all these things like kind of working through the menu, that's as close as I could get to right now, just like, you know, celebrating what I think is a year-round seasonal crop for my menu.
Well, Jared, can I ask, do you...
Jared?
I'm sorry. I'm looking
Jared?
at this. Sorry, Kelly. I'm curious. So this question, do you think people are ready for it?
Yeah, I mean, again, I think it's a kind of a strange time. I'm going to like see how the chefs respond to the grains and us going to market with these in the next week. I think mostly, you know, we're all just trying to survive at this point, right? We're in survival mode. A lot of the restaurants, I mean, I'm going through my list and a lot of them, you know, are either just still to go or just patio or just whatever. And so it's kind of hard to be like, hey, man, you want to, you know, diversify your menu right now? But I think there is a demand. You know, Duncan Holmes down at Beacon does a lot of exploration on what Colorado food should look like. It's a, you know, small chef counter setting. And I think it just has to be the right type of restaurant, right? Or the right format. But it does take a lot of work. You have to dedicate yourself to it. But, you know, I don't know. I think, like I said, I think people are just trying to keep their head above water right now and not thinking totally about it evolving.
It's interesting. The deeper I go and the more that I study and the more that I look at places and the agriculture just in general, not just Colorado, but agriculture everywhere, the more I get connected, the more I don't want to go back. I mean, it truly is. It's the rabbit hole I want to go down. It really is. And once you do go down that way, it's just the curious kid comes out inside of you.
Yeah.
And you start connecting dots and, you know, what's this doing? And how can it be regenerative? How can it all work together symbiotically so that you're a steward of your land and your animals? And to me, it's just the way to go. It's just life at its finest. And food consumption is just that's the soliloquy. That's what goes along with it. Truly is. It's beautiful.
It is beautiful. I think it's tricky how we don't get so focused and keep the blinders on that no other way than what we think is right. You know, that's sort of a rabbit hole I went down with organic. And, you know, and Kelly and I have actually had a little bit of this conversation is this if it wasn't organic, it wasn't good. And so how do you say, okay, I want these things. I want you going to the farm and getting your meat and food direct. I want these things. But how do we still accept those other people that can't get there and realize that they have a role in what we do as well.
I put a poll up on the stream. Could you harvest your own animals for consumption? Yes is at 67%, no at 33%. And you know, that's an interesting thing, and I don't know that most people can, being Jay. You just,
Hey, man, I just unmuted myself.
On.
I know I was getting ready. Well, I'll jump in on that because, and Greg has said this to me before, Chef, and I'd actually like your opinion on it. So we have that conversation of the harvesting of animals, and he's, you know, he's of the opinion where he says, listen, if you couldn't do it, then maybe you shouldn't eat it, or you shouldn't, you know, eat it. I'm somebody that, for example, if I was at Grey Wolf Resort with Greg and they said, hey, here's an option, would you like to, you know, kill a chicken? Would you like to harvest a chicken for dinner tonight? Truthfully, I wouldn't want to do it. You know, I would say no. But however, if I was hungry and needed to, I know I'm capable of doing it. Yeah. And I don't have any illusion about where meat comes from, right? But me personally, I don't want to have to do it if I don't have to do it. You know, I don't know. I don't know if that makes me sound, you know, whatever. But it's like, you know, no, Blake's going to do it. Yeah, great. You know, and I'll eat the chicken and I'll help cut it up and stuff. But I don't want to be the axe man, as it were. I mean, that's just who I am as a person. But you put me out in the, you know, the wilderness.
Very civilized
I'll cut everybody in this room open and eat you.
If you're hungry enough.
Yeah.
No, well, I get it.
But I think it's all about context, right? Yeah. It's all about, you know, and that's where, you know, I was out on a farm in Vermont, and Michelle Nashon, amazing chef, incredible leader of all kinds of things about feeding people. You know, he sat there and talked for 20 minutes and then killed a lamb. And I was like, it was incredibly emotional. Like, I mean, it just, you know, it's kind of like, is it part of your daily routine at the farm, or is it like, you know, sometimes it can be very, you know, a lot for anyone, I think, that really looks to honor the animal, you know, in that way.
Well, and Kelly, I think people don't even realize, you know, Greg sent me the video and I watched it, and I showed someone else the video, and someone who is normally comfortable, they have slaughtered their own animals themselves. They've harvested an elk and pheasants and other animals. But when they saw the video,
chickens are difficult to watch in that manner.
Well, it's different because there's confusion about, well, why do you throw them off? And the whole deal is because you don't want them running over here, running into you again. You don't want them closer to you. And so it's, you know, you chop off their head. And
chickens are an interesting example for that, for sure. And so Grey Wolf Resort, I actually want to connect you with these guys, Kelly. I think you would enjoy going up there and taking it a moment to just to see what their capabilities are. But they bring a lot of folks up there, military. It's just outside of Colorado Springs, up in Victor by Cripple
it's
Creek.
Close. Yeah, I'd love to check it out sometime.
They bring military up there for field dressing animals and cooking for, you know, the couple of weeks, and they basically just teach outdoor cooking for military at this resort. But I find it all just very fascinating with every animal. Now, if you'd ask me if I could do that with a pig, I don't think I could do that. That's a whole different thing, man, to deal with a pig. Those animals are pretty, that's a big task, and I don't know if I'm equipped for that. Wolf's Tailor and Boston, terrible segue, my friend. But Wolf's Tailor, what's new? What's going on?
You know, we're fired up this week. We added 2 days of services. Sweet. So we're now open Tuesdays and Sundays. There's this, you know, I'm really trying to get the last few people back to work in the company. To do that, I need to kind of spread out, since we're at 50% capacity, and spread out the days. So I'm going to see how that goes. I'm definitely hoping people come out and support right now the Wolf's Tailor, because I mean, restaurants still need it. I mean, right now with the heat, it's just kind of a slow time of the year in Boulder too. So I'm really hoping that people get out and support the local restaurants right now, you know, because just that little bit of difference really, I mean, just it can put a restaurant on its back right now. But, you know, I'm pretty stoked on that. We just hit our 2-year anniversary today, actually.
Congratulations.
Lots happening this week.
Yes.
Yeah. And that restaurant has just gone up and down and left and right. And this is all pre-pandemic, you know,
Yes.
between like where we started and then making the Bon Appetit list and just watching us go from 0 to 60, then to complete shutdown recently. Like it's for a 2-year restaurant, it's got a ton of stuff in the closet already, you know? But it's pretty cool. We're still doing the bento. It's like a 10 course, kind of thing, which is, you know, again, it's $45. It's not like this coursed out, drawn out thing. It's a super fun format of bento box. And, we go in the kitchen every day and just, we're like, what's the best version of ourselves today? What can we, you know, cook? And that's sort of how we roll into the menu. We ask people online. They're just kind of signing up to come through the front door for $45. And then I'm also launching a to-go menu, a lot of interesting fried rice and things like that this week, things that travel more. So with all the restaurants, I'm starting to think about like, should I have a different in-house menu versus a takeout menu?
Yeah.
And so we're going to see how that plays out this week. But
what are you leaning
excited
towards?
to get back in the kitchen. Well, I'm leaning towards this separation. You know, I think it's pretty interesting that if you want to have that Wolf's Tailor bigger experience, that you come in and, you know, the guy on a Tuesday night that wants some fried rice and some, you know, shishitos or something can access that. It's pretty cool.
How is alcohol to go done for you?
Pretty well, actually. Our Sam just started another sort of wine 4-pack kind of wine club thing. And, you know, I mean, people still tag on especially on the weekend, you know, tag cocktails and bottles of wine. And, so it's been doing pretty good. I hope it sticks around forever.
Are you happy to see the year extension for that?
Yeah, I am. I want liquor stores and small mom and pop shops to be successful too. So I definitely hope, you know, good things for their business. So I don't, you know, we
it's
get
a different
mix.
customer though, don't you think?
Yeah.
I mean, completely
absolutely.
different customer that walks into the mom
and getting a pre-made, you know, craft cocktail, you know, something you can't walk in the liquor store for.
Not at all.
So I personally like it. I hope it sticks around, you know.
Kelly, what about your days of the week that you're going to be open? Do you think anyone's going to change and say, you know what, maybe now we need to start being open 7 days, or is that break something that people are just, we have to take a hard break to reset, or what's your take on that?
Yeah, I mean, for us, we're the type of group that's always been closed at least one day. We actually started Wolf's Tailor 2 years ago with only as a 4-day-week restaurant, which everybody's like, what are you doing? 0 happy hour, 0 late night, 0 lunch, nothing, just 4 5-hour services. My staff was like, what are you doing? But, you know, like, yes, there's part of that that's a break, but, you know, until we understand what's happening after the 25th with employees that are unemployment or furlough that have been taken care of up to this point in different ways, you know, that drops off on the 25th. So we're looking at a pretty big fallout. So I think if, you know, again, if you can open a few more days, spread it out, bring some staff back, I think it's a lot of restaurants, a lot of organizations should be thinking about that if they're not, you know?
Yeah. Up next, Kelly, is Sonia Riggs, the president and CEO of the Colorado Restaurant Association. You probably may see her there's another face in the Zoom meeting. Anything you want to throw our way to ask her?
No, you know, I just want to show appreciation every time I get on the phone with Colorado Restaurant Association. They have absolutely just taken control of communication for our restaurants, for every restaurant. And, you know, that's always what I want to say is like, thank you so much for, you know, them and their office and the organization as a whole for just keeping us informed and trying to help us dig out of this as much as possible. We have a long fight to go. So, you know, watching the community come together around the association has been just incredible. So thank you.
You rock, Kelly.
Yeah, that
totally
is one hell of an endorsement. Thank you. Wow.
Dude, thanks so much. We're there with you any time. Actually hoping we can make a couple announcements about doing some fall dinners together just during harvest, and would really think that would be so cool if we could do that. So we'll come together and get smarter brains around us, and we'll put together something really cool, Kelly. Look forward to talking to you here real soon.
Awesome, Jay. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Brian, good to hear your voice too, man. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Kelly.
See you soon. There he is, Chef Kelly Whitaker. Okay, we already told you we're behind schedule a couple of minutes. If she could be patient, we're going to break away for just a couple of minutes to hear from our sponsors, and we'll be back with Sonia Riggs right here on the Modern Eater Show I almost said with the Modern Eater Show right here.
Hey guys, Chris Johnson here, owner of Rome Sausage, your hyper-local source for all things sausage awesomeness. My family is proud to carry on the fine traditions of Rome's founder, Jerry Rome, by producing a variety of amazing sausage in small batches with an eye on quality, not quantity. Every batch is made here in the great state of Colorado by hand mixing spices, utilizing lean cuts of pork to make an outstanding product. Sourcing ingredients and materials locally, we are committed to supporting local vendors, chefs, restaurants, and the entire Colorado food scene. Getting hungry yet? Brats, Italian, breakfast, hot Polish, green chili, chicken apple, and the world's best chorizo. You can source all of our sausage through a variety of food service distributors. If your distributor doesn't carry it, call us. We'll come direct. You want a custom item? We'll do that too. Samples, and of course, sausage jokes, can be had by contacting me directly at chris@romesausage.com or by phone at 303-296-7663. The Modern Eater loves Rome Sausage, and I know you will too.
Hey, Zach Ryder here, Colorado Mills Sunflower Products out of Lamar, Colorado. Your only local source, grown from a local crop to produce a local oil for local chefs. You can find it at Shamrock Foods, What Chefs Want, Seattle Fish Company. Let me try it one more time, then we'll see. Hey, restaurants, we're glad you're reopening. From Colorado Mills Sunflower Oil, we'll see you soon.
First, we partner with the best farmers in the world, and then we tell them, we will take it all. Process whole spices daily, blend custom spices to order, keep it fresh, safe, and flavorful, all so that you can get back to doing what you do best. So whether you're a restaurant, a food manufacturer, or an at-home cook, be sure to visit The Spice Guy at www.thespiceguy.com.
Okay, back to the show, and thank you. It is Monday, July 13th, and had a question posed to us. First of all, welcome to the Modern Eater Show. Greg Hollenbeck, Jay Parker, Brian Freeman in Studio Kitchen, Colorado today as we continue. And if you're looking for a Summer Dinner Series ticket, you can go to summerdinnerseries.com, and we've got the whole lineup all summer long. 7 more dinners you can join us with. That's summerdinnerseries.com. On our website, themoderneater.com, you'll see I'm actually getting organized, a daily blog, and you will see all of the contact information. I've got a couple of cool things from the Colorado Restaurant Association, and also a question that was posed to us last week on the show. Someone asked, what do you do if an employee tests for positive for COVID? We didn't know the answer. If it's restaurant related, we know somebody would have the answer, and it's from the Colorado Restaurant Association. Sonia Riggs, thanks for joining us. How are you?
No, that's not here. That's not
Good
here.
to see you, Sonia. No volume on that end. No audio on your end. I'm wondering if there's just a little button. Hello.
Sonia, try jumping out of that meeting and then just jumping right back in, please.
Yeah, Sonia's going to jump back into the meeting, but we get questions time and time again. That's one that really Sonia Riggs and the Colorado Restaurant Association can answer. At the time, Brian, my answer was you need to alert somebody from the CVC. I don't think that's correct.
No, actually, though, you do need to alert someone from in Colorado, they are asking that you alert someone from the Department of Health, though.
Yes.
Not the CDC, but in Colorado, they ask that you go to the Department of Health. I got to give Sonia a big shout-out why she's coming back on here, and maybe she can't hear it, but our listeners can. Kelly Whitaker, I gave respect to where respect is due. In my opinion, Colorado Restaurant Association has done a better job than our own local state government when it comes to getting information out to the restaurant groups. Just looking at a Google search, if you try to Google search anything about Colorado restaurant protocols, and anything about COVID protocols, nothing really from the state comes up. What comes up is all this information that Sonia.
If you Google it.
Yeah, if you Google it. And then but if you do it for other states, like, I was really surprised. I Googled it I Googled it not putting Colorado on it, and I got California, and like the state there has done like Los Angeles County has done an incredible job. It looks like on telling people more instructions on here's what you do to run a proper establishment during these COVID times versus couldn't really find out anything from our state government. So shout out to Sonia Riggs as she gets back on here.
Quality, and she will jump back on.
She's coming.
The poll that we put out today, and it's just a question, really, truly to get you thinking. Could you harvest your own animals for consumption? 67% say yes, 33% say no. I'd have to wonder if the 33% just they don't even want to eat animals as well.
Well, and I ask if the 67% could harvest it themselves or watch it being harvested. Is a detail that's interesting because actually when you're holding the chicken and the axe, that is different than standing. Now, in some ways, I think standing there watching it to me is a little more intense. Being a spectator is more disturbing than actually doing the deed.
Interesting.
That might be strange, but
did Sonia contact you?
Give me
at 2:40. Carley Smith, the fairy Gutmother, will join us, and we'll catch up with Carly. Her dinner is what date? Next Tuesday night, so a week from tomorrow.
21st, I believe.
It's the 21st,
right? Yeah.
and tickets are just flying by for there. I think there's just a couple of 4 tops left. If you want to jump in that dinner, I can tell you right now by looking at their ingredients list, that's going to be a very well put together dinner.
It's interesting. Do you think that those two try harder because they don't listen, Jim has his own brick and mortar, but he doesn't have the fancy brick and mortar. He has a hot dog joint, right? Do you think he works harder, and Carly, who doesn't have her own brick and mortar, to really put their best foot forward to say, we're going to do a dinner that's going to be at this level?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
That's a great question. I would have to assume the answer is yes. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, you want to flex.
Well, and they've been testing, right, for the last – we know because Jim's been telling us
I went and tasted some of that delicious food.
And it
was great. It was great. I hear audio now. How's it going, Sonia?
Hi.
Sonia Riggs, the president and CEO of the Colorado Restaurant Association. Did you hear what Chef Kelly Whitaker had to say about you guys over there?
I did. That was so nice. I really appreciate that. We're working hard every day to try to help, and I'm getting more and more nervous about what's happening with restaurants, especially as I just heard that California is shutting down restaurants today for in-room dining statewide.
What do you do with that?
I hate hearing that.
Yeah,
Sorry?
Can you get ready from that? And a lot of times I always say, if you want to know what Colorado's going to do next, look at California.
Unfortunately, I hope that's not the case here. It's just killing this industry right now. And we've been trying to push wherever we can for the governor to open at open capacity or increase capacity where possible, which was one of the reasons why we pushed so heavily for that outdoor dining as well, which has been able to help some folks. Sadly, it's still not bringing people up to that capacity they need just to stay alive long term. And now that we're seeing surges happen in other states and how the governor rolled back after 2 weeks, had to roll back bars, traditional bars. So I say the bars can stay open if they look like a restaurant and act like a restaurant, meaning they're serving full meals. But it is very concerning. That was based on other states, not based on what's happening in Colorado. So, we're hoping that because Colorado is opening slowly enough that they won't have to reclose. I know the governor's office has said that to us as well, but I am very, very nervous watching what's happening in other states.
How does that work, Sonia? I know that you probably just wait to hear the news, but do you have any influence at all on recommendations for if and when that should happen? How do those the decision process? How does that happen?
Our recommendation is as soon as possible, obviously, because restaurants really can't survive under current circumstances for very long. Many have already closed, sadly, permanently. We've been certainly reaching out to local, state, and federal lawmakers. We've reached out many, many times to the governor's office, to the state and local health departments, to city council people, to county commissioners, asking for help anywhere we can get it for restaurants, whether it's increasing capacities, more allowance on variance on what they can do on patios, whether it's giving them extra funding. We're certainly, right now we're currently working on the federal side to really push additional federal funding for the restaurant industry, because this industry has been hit particularly hard and they need help.
Sonia,
I mean, that's simple.
You scare me with something that you're saying. You're saying that you are reaching out to all these people. I would think that our elected officials should be reaching out to organizations like you, trying to understand the people and their constituents that they're imposing these potentially life-altering things. Are you telling me that our state has not set up any kind of task force where they're looking for input from people like you?
They have, actually, and I participated on the governor's task force, the economic stabilization on the tourism portion of it, and we were very clear with our recommendations early on that restaurants and hotels and other tourism industries in Colorado need a considerable amount of help because they have been extremely hard hit. So we gave some very specific and quite a long list of things we need help with. A few have been implemented. And many have not, but again, so we have been reached out to by the governor. I'm also on the Denver task force, the REACH task force, which is focusing on. I'm on the co-chairing the restaurant task force specifically for that, but it's also talking about economic support. We've been talking to, like I said, city council people, county commissioners. So a few have reached out to us. Most of the time we've had to reach out to them. And, with fairness to them, I'm sure they're going 100 miles an hour at once. And our focus is specifically on the restaurant industry. But I will tell you, we've had multiple calls with lawmakers at every level daily and sometimes multiple times a day, asking for various forms of help. So, there have been, like I said, some lawmakers that have reached out directly to us, and we certainly appreciate that. But others that we've had to reach out to.
Yeah, well, if anybody's kept an eye on the governor's office, they seem to make decisions pretty much standing alone, and they just come out of the blue, and that's what it is. And I'm reading here now, 2 hours ago, it came down the pipe in California that Newsom orders California counties, all California counties, to close indoor restaurants and shut down bars as they're looking at what they can do to take what they're now calling a spike in California. It just went from an uptick to now an official spike. And as we look to Colorado and brace ourselves, I know that we started to see some very difficult times before the reopening of restaurants, and some folks took it upon themselves to do what they wanted to do, Sonia, and I hate to go down that with you right now as speculation, but I really worry that if that was to happen, that we would see a lot more folks turning themselves into lawbreakers just out of necessity of trying to keep their business open. So we'll leave that one there until we get more information. But that is developing right now as California shuts down in dining in their dining rooms. We do have a couple of things we wanted to ask you, and one of them is if somebody tests positive for COVID in a restaurant, what that protocol should be for the restaurant owner. Do you have any information that we could get from you on that?
Yeah, and sadly, it's one thing which makes it simple, but people have asked us for specific clarification on step 1, step 2, step 3, and we will be providing some basic information on our website. But really, what we hear is call your local public health official, call your local health department immediately is step 1. And the reason I say that is because not every restaurant needs to be shut down in the case where you find one or more staff members showing up with COVID-19 or testing positive. They want to ask you a series of questions to say, who have you come in contact with? When was the last time you were working? What your standard procedures are for cleaning and all sorts of other things. I'm run across some restaurants where one person was sick, but they haven't worked for a number of days, and they didn't need to do anything special other than, additional cleaning and notifying folks. But restaurants are already heightened on what they're doing, whether it's cleaning protocol, the way that they're, in many counties requiring mask wearing. I know that that's not required in every county. But certainly really taking extra steps as they always do, but they're even on a higher level of what they're doing now to keep people safe. And they're uniquely prepared to be able to take these extra steps because they're always there to make sure that they're serving food and alcohol safely. So, the thing I would just say and answer your question is call your local public health department. That is the number one thing you need to do. And they'll walk you through, depending on your unique situation, what the next steps are.
And I don't know if you have the answer to this, but as you're going through that process, do you need to shut your business down?
Not necessarily. Again, it depends on your unique circumstances, whether how many people the employee came into contact with, when they last worked. There's a number of things that they're going to ask you before they help determine what you need to do to keep everybody safe.
So on the moderneater.com, I put a link, and I only shared her office phone number, but Abby Davidson is the Denver Public Health contact. That's okay for me to put her contact information on there?
I would put her work number.
That's what I put. I didn't put her cell. No, just her work
yeah,
number.
I think so. And then they've got a basic health department number too. But if you can't find your local public health department, although it's pretty easy, just look up the county that you're in online. And everybody that I've seen so far, all the counties has a COVID-19 section, so they should have information for you to call. But if you can't find that, they can certainly call our office and we can direct them to the right person to talk to.
Sure. I think as the testing increases, that the number of cases that will be shown or uncovered at that point. So I think that that's going to be very helpful information as the days, weeks, and months go on. Another win, in my estimation, and I dug into this, and always just my background in media and really what happens when you've got the trolls. When the trolls are after you. SB 213 passed, and that was booze to go for another year. And I find this to be just a great win to mitigate some of the losses for restaurants in order to gather some new revenue streams. But that's alcohol to go. It's one more year it's signed into law, and in my estimation, I hope it never goes away. I just think it's a different customer than the liquor store or the local mom and pop that, if you want a craft cocktail or something like that, and you're getting some food to go, that's a different customer. But you posted it on your Facebook, Sonia, and you got some flash or some splashback. I found a common theme, and it looks like it was just a group of people that are all organized to hit a page there because it turned them their agenda turned them sideways. But we're happy for this, and you put the announcement on your Facebook page, and you get all types that come out for their opinion, right?
Yeah, but I will say the ones we're here to support are the restaurants. We heard from hundreds of restaurants that they were asking for this to be extended as long as possible. That to many, I know it doesn't help every restaurant, but to many, many restaurants, it's been, like, to your point, Greg, an additional lifeline, an additional way to showcase what they do. They can pair up unique cocktails or wines do food pairings, and it's really been an extra source of revenue for so many. And like I said, hundreds of restaurants reached out to us and said, please help us get this done. And we were so happy to be a part of it, and really feel like it is something that can help at least a number of restaurants. So anything that can help, I think, is really important to just keeping these restaurants alive as long as possible.
If you want to see that post, again, themoderneater.com, and click on today's daily blog. Also, thank you so much for the shout-out for the summer dinner series, which is in mid-swing. Well, not in mid-swing, just at the beginning. We've got 7 more of these dinners left. I'm going to jump into that before we let you go. But billiards also have been given the go-ahead, right? Hopefully it's not for a day. But
hopefully not. This was a really nice relief to get this weekend. We heard from the Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment that billiards are allowed to be open with certain restrictions. Maximum of 8 people. They have to be 6 feet apart. You've got to clean and sanitize in between each use. You've got to make sure that your county doesn't have a variance that does not allow for billiards tables. But it's really nice to know that may be an extra option. We've heard from a number of restaurants and bars saying, help, like we've got games. Why can't we just sanitize them effectively? So we're pushing where we can for other games, but it was really nice to see that at least one exception was made. Anytime a small win is made, it's at least a step in the right direction, I think.
Absolutely. Okay, Summer Dinner Series, we've got 7 more dinners to go. I thought it was important because you guys have been really working hard for us to treat you guys over there at the Colorado Restaurant Association with a nice dinner, and what better than the Summer Dinner Series. Not that
Well, we're looking forward to it, I'll tell you that.
Okay, well, I'm not going to have you play favorites, but I did ask you to pick one, and it was narrowed down to August. Can you tell me which one that you guys want to go to?
Well, I think if we can, we're gonna go to Dana Rodriguez's dinner, but I need to double check with one more person that we're bringing. But we're excited about all of them, really.
Yeah, no doubt. I didn't want to put you on the spot, but I did want to know. So Dana Rodriguez's dinner is on August 4th, and we hope to see you there. Thanks for the shout out for that. Yeah,
I love to see that you're really promoting restaurants and helping remind people that especially eating outdoors is a great alternative, especially for those folks that feel a bit nervous about getting out there. But please go out to eat.
Yeah, we thought.
Yeah,
Sonia, we thought it was more important than ever that being able to do this summer dinner series, not only did we want to show the city of Denver, but the state of Colorado, the United States, and worldwide, just really how do you do this responsibly and how do you do it well? And we were up for that challenge, so showcasing all the things that we've learned from you and all of our other colleagues, that we really hope we're putting a good product out there and doing everybody really proud with this summer dinner series.
Well, like I said, we're really excited about it and appreciate you continuing to promote this industry.
Thank you for being you. That's Sonia Riggs, Colorado Restaurant Association President and CEO. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, Sonia.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sonia. Carley Smith has been patiently standing by. She is part of 2. She's half. She's half of
the dinner.
The summer dinner series. It's the 21st. It's a week from tomorrow. I'm telling you, get your tickets. I think this is the sleeper dinner. This is going to be the one that people look back and go, wow, wow, wow. And why do I say that? Carly's dinner last year killed it. Jim's dinner killed it. We put it together. That's the killer combination right there.
Yep.
All right, we'll catch up with Carley Smith, play a couple of spots from our lovely sponsors. Please, 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 the Modern Eater sponsor, so near and dear to us. We'll catch up with Carley Smith next on the Modern Eater Show.
Hey guys, with Modern Eater, this is Rich O'Brien with Elevation Food Service Reps. I'm here with one of our staff's newly appointed hospitality specialist, Kalina Hilliard, and we're here in our showroom, and we've got our bar set up, we've got a lot of time. Come see us, come see what we've got, and Kalina can help you guys out in the world of hospitality with anything. Take a little journey into the 38th Avenue kitchen just to see what's going on in here. And as I come in here, I'm noticing, Howard, what are you doing? Nothing. Show me, what are you doing? Nothing. Nothing? Look at this beautiful equipment in here. Look at this beautiful. Chefs, restaurateurs, anybody that has anything to do with food service, come on over. We'd love to help you with menu development, love to show you everything about equipment. And maybe we'll even have a few pops.
Hey guys, it's Rebecca Berry with Hot Schedules powered by Fourth here. And you know what they say, if you can't take the heat, then you should get out of the kitchen. But with Hot Schedules powered by Fourth, we want you in the kitchen while we put out those fires. With Hot Schedules, we help to mitigate risk with HR, payroll, and tax compliance solutions so you can continue to put those plates on the table for your guests. Today's a big day. We're reopening, so call me. Rebecca.berry@fourth.com. That's Rebecca.berry@fourth.com. With Hot Schedules by Fourth, we've got you covered.
Hey, Modern Eater fans. I'm Don Trobo with The Annex by Ardent Mills, and I just wanted to give you a heads up about some of the great things we've got going on locally in the state. We're headquartered right here, and we're working with farmers in the San Luis Valley to bring you amazing Colorado quinoa. It's just like the South American stuff, but grown locally. We've got transitional wheat flour that's grown by farmers in Colorado and surrounding states who are in the process of turning their fields into organic. So we're taking that transitional wheat and turning it into flour, and now it's available for you to cook and bake with. And last but not least, we're now cleaning grain berries in Denver. So things like spelt or wheat berries or pearl barley, those are things that we're now doing right here locally and are available to you. Can't wait to share it with you.
Hey there, Barbecue All-Star. This is your year, so what if you weren't drafted? The only draft you need to be worried about is actually spelled D-R-A-U-G-H-T, and it's adult for the word beer. It's barbecue season, baby. Now get out there and grill your ass off.
All right, welcome back to the Modern Eater Show. It is Monday, July 13th, as we have, I'm counting them down, 8 days. 1 week, 1 day. And I'm just checking ticket sales right now for this gal who joins us right now. It's Carley Smith, the fairy Gutmother. This looks like just a dream to me.
It's a painting.
How are you, Carley?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Good. Is this a movie set? Where are you?
This is my office.
This is quite the office you have there. Are you putting together some food for us, or is just an average afternoon, Carley?
A little bit of both. So I'm testing out some of the menu items for the dinner series, and then I'm going to eat it. So
so here's how it goes down. We have four two tops for sale. We're only doing 2 and 4 tops, and we have 6 4 tops. Is that right? 6 4 tops, 4 2 tops. All 2 tops are sold out, and we have 4 4 tops left. So we're getting close to capacity. If you want to go to this dinner, you better get your butt in gear and go to summerdinnerseries.com.
Wait,
summerdinnerseries.com. We're so excited for this one, Carley, and rightfully so. But first of all, tell us about the second half of this dinner series, Biker Jim Pittenger.
So I just added a little bit of, gut health to the menu. So, the menu's super fresh, all local, locally sourced ingredients. So it's already a really fantastic menu. But then, there's a little gut health nuances in there. So for like today, what I'm demoing is my chickpea crisps. So these are going to go alongside our mushroom and tomato tartare. So chickpeas are the gut health aspect of it because they're a resistant starch. They help feed the beneficial bacteria in the gut. So basically, they're just like a fiber in a sense. So basically, I just took some chickpea flour, made it into a dough, and then fried it in some Colorado Mill sunflower oil. And so they turn out to be these yummy, thick crisps or chips, basically, so that help scoop up our tartare. So each menu item is just really fresh, fun, delicious, and then again, a little bit of gut health aspect of it throughout the menu, which will be a lot of fun.
That sounds so awesome, doesn't it? To eat a great meal, and not only will when you leave, you're going to digest it nice and easy.
Yeah, exactly. So, in last year, I kind of, boosted everybody's digestive enzymes with some of the ingredients we were using throughout the meal and throughout the menu. And so that's what we're going to be doing a little bit of here. So we've got some ferments in there. That's going to help to digest our foods, and then we've got a little bit of bone broth, of course. You can't forget bone broth. So that's also going to boost your digestive enzymes and help break down your foods a little bit better. So it'll be really fun.
You've always been one to talk to us about moderation. It's like you don't have to go full on with everything, but moderation. Talk about yourself a little bit and why you decided to integrate this lifestyle into your life and every day.
Sure. So, and that's what I love about this menu is speaking to that moderation, that it doesn't have to be, so much all or nothing, that you can incorporate gut health and good quality foods into really any menu or to any diet or lifestyle. So, that moderation is so key. I feel like we make, we get really frustrated when we try to change too many things at once. And if we don't necessarily stick to 100% of the diet, we fall off our diet, and we don't get back on track, that's really frustrating and disappointing. And so if you incorporate that moderation a little bit into your lifestyle, you'll notice that it becomes a little bit easier to sustain and maintain as well.
Why do people associate gut health with maybe foods that don't taste great? I'm just wondering. Do you find that?
Well, and that's just it, that, eating healthy, you don't have to give up any of your favorite foods. I mean, you can still have burgers and tacos and fries, which we're making for our dinner. We're doing fermented French fries. So, you can still have those same really good, tasting foods that we all love, but just sourcing better quality ingredients, that's really where the key is. And I think that's what we've done here with our dinner series is, we're still doing, we have a pork belly for our main entree and incorporating some ferments in there, some sauerkraut sauce, so you're getting some of those beneficial bacteria in the gut. And then sourcing really good quality ingredients, really good quality cooking fats like cod or mill sunflower oil, good quality sea salts, and sourcing good ingredients from local purveyors. I think that really makes a big difference.
SummerDinnerSeries.com.
Yep.
SummerDinnerSeries.com.
Here, let me ask her one question.
Yeah, please.
SummerDinnerSeries.com.
SummerDinnerSeries.com. One thing, Carley, if there was one ingredient that you would say we all inadvertently probably get too much of that's not good for our gut,
sugar,
and that we should probably watch it. So Greg says sugar. What is Carley saying?
I would have to agree, Greg. It's sugar, definitely. It feeds the pathogenic bacteria and fungi in the gut, so the bad organisms in the gut. And it's really found in so many foods. It's such a hidden ingredient in a lot of different things, and that's why it's so important to make sure you read your food labels. And just really being mindful. It's not, I'm a fan, you can have that moderation. We have cake on our menu for dessert. So you can have the cake, but just again, once you're following that moderation, as long as the majority part of the time your diet is clean, you can handle some of those foods. But over long periods of time and in excess amounts, sugar definitely can be very problematic for the body.
Well, let's go with the other one. So sugar on that side. What's on the other side of the spectrum of really great for your gut?
So there's a few things, but definitely fiber. Number one, like our diets are severely lacking in fiber, and that's why we're starting to incorporating the chickpea crisps in the dinner and getting some of that fiber content in there. Fiber feeds the beneficial organisms in the gut. So just like sugar feeds the pathogens, fiber feeds the good bacteria. So incorporating more fiber into your diet is really key. And unfortunately, most of us are really lacking in fiber. So just making sure that you're getting that into your diet every day. And then, of course, I love fermented foods, repopulating the gut with that beneficial bacteria. And then, bone broth is always my go-to. It's just very healing and nourishing to the body, helpful in repairing the gut lining. So I think if you have a healthy balance of all of those things, that's what really supports the gut.
What would be just a killer fiber meal? Just like you're getting fiber in this meal. And it's going to do what what people, when you say that, people think it's for a purpose. And that's not a bad thing, but some people aren't regular.
Psyllium husk salad. I bet that would make someone really regular, really fast.
Is that your goal speed of it? Is the speed?
That's a good fiber meal.
You don't have to. The thing is, you don't want too much of all of these foods, right? Because then it's going to have an adverse reaction, and you're not going to feel well after you have to eat it. So I wouldn't pack all of the fiber into one meal, and I think that's how we sort of designed this menu. Like these chickpea crisps, this is a source of fiber with one of the dishes. So when you're at home and in your everyday life, just making sure that as you look at your plate, that there's a little bit of healthy protein, a sustainable protein on there. There's some sort of fiber. So whether that be from leafy greens or resistant starches, just like chickpeas, potatoes, legumes, there's some sort of fiber on the plate, and then mixing that in with some healthy fats, and just kind of having that optimal balance. So it's not really like you want to pack a lot of ferments or a fiber on the plate. You basically just kind of want to have that balance throughout the day.
What's up with kefir ice cream?
Yes, so I had that on the menu last year. It's going to go with our cake for dessert, but kefir is basically just like yogurt, a little bit higher probiotic content. And so we've used kefir to make the ice cream. So again, think about repopulating the gut with those beneficial organisms. And kefir yogurt is basically just, fermented dairy in a sense. So again, that kind of repopulating. And that should also help to digest your foods as well.
Man, it's delicious too.
And I want to, Carley, tell us what's the difference between just regular yogurt and kefir yogurt?
So it just it's just in the way that you make it. So kefir uses kefir grains, ferments basically the same way, but it's just, again, going to have a little bit higher probiotic content in the actual yogurt.
Can you smoke it? No, you can't. I was just wondering.
You could smoke anything.
I don't think ice cream. I don't think you can smoke ice cream. This dinner, it's really a treat, and the educational part of this, Carley, and I think that's really why you've gotten into this, is the educational. What's some of the educational questions as people reach out to you on this wonderful website, fairygutmother.com, link on themoderneater.com on the daily blog? Gosh, we're getting organized around here. But what's some of the most, if you were to put frequently asked questions, what's like the top one or two?
Well, I think people are really starting to come around to gut health now, and they want to know, why is gut health important? Why are we even talking about gut health? So basically, it's just basically where your immune system is located. I think especially now more than ever with everything that's going on, that we really need to be thinking about our immune system, and it really relates back to the gut. So people are just curious as to, why are we talking about gut health, and how do I make sure I have optimal gut health, or how do I know if I have problems with the gut? So, just really incorporating the foods that help to heal the gut lining and maintain that optimal balance of organisms in the gut, reducing your stress levels, because it is a lifestyle. It's not just a diet. And then, how do you know if you have gut problems? Well, obviously, if you have digestive issues, that's the number one red flag. But, honestly, so many diseases nowadays are really traced back to the gut. So I tell people it's really the foundation for our health. It's not necessarily the cure-all, but everybody should be thinking about gut health, whether or not you're dealing with health complications or not. We can be incorporating gut health into our diet and into our everyday life. And that's what's so cool about this dinner, is that it doesn't have to be, some sort of specific diet or anything like that. Like, this is a lifestyle. This is something sustainable that we can bring in gut health to dinner and to restaurants, and we really should be, because this is something that we should all be thinking about. This is our immune system, and it's really important.
This is a serious question. If you pass gas excessively, do you have a problem? Like, really, like a medical problem? Is it okay to pass gas, Carley?
Can I field this one?
What do you mean, Jay?
Well, listen, in my extensive research of flatulence, and correct me if I'm wrong, Carley, but yes, a human being is supposed to flatulate.
Should you not have gas, Carley?
No, you should.
I know. Well, let's ask the expert.
Well,
should you not have gas?
I knew something.
Dr. J.
So, it's normal, but in excess amount, it really talks about what's going on in your gut. So, for instance, if you have fiber and, you're consuming fiber and legumes and greens, and afterwards, you're bloated, you have digestive issues and excess gas, that can mean a lot of different things. And for one, it means that you don't have enough beneficial bacteria in your gut to consume some of that fiber. So when a lot of people start incorporating more fiber into the diet, that is a completely natural response by the body. So a couple of things that I'll tell you, maybe one, that you might want to start incorporating a digestive enzyme, help you break those foods down a little bit better. 2, incorporating probiotics, so you can repopulate the gut with more beneficial bacteria to break down those foods. But also, after a couple weeks of incorporating more fiber, the gut tends to adjust, and then you can handle these foods after a certain point.
Well, Carley,
I told you there was an answer to that.
She opened up a deeper door, though, I got to tell you. So, gut health, I just saw in a movie last night, and it blew me away. This concept, and you and I had a very quick conversation. We'll let all our viewers hear about this. There's this new process or treatment that's going on right now. Greg, do you know where I'm going with this?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
You're a mind reader.
I don't even
It's for gut health. There's this new thing with gut health that people are actually taking fecal matter from someone who is healthy out of their back end and putting it in their rear end, healthy poop. Have you heard about this, Carley?
Wait, there we go.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's an FMT, like a fecal transplant. So it's actually extremely helpful for people that are suffering with severe complications of the gut, so like Crohn's disease, IBS. It's been a very, very successful therapy for a lot of people. But it's interesting kind of where people are taking it, because now it's almost sort of what I've read is becoming a cosmetic procedure that, the fecal matter from younger people basically is implanted into older people as like a way of reversing aging. So you can get that microbiome that's associated with more of a younger age. So it's kind of interesting where it's going, but the root of it actually stems from being more of a therapeutic approach, which has been really successful for people that have had a lot of health complications.
You're such a good sport answering our questions. It's the 21st.
So
what can we expect, Carley, on the 21st, a week from tomorrow?
So just a lot of deliciousness. We have so many different flavors, and it's just a really fun and exciting menu. I can't wait to share it with you guys. And and I think at the end of the day, I think people are going to just see that you can incorporate good quality foods, you can incorporate gut health into any menu, into any diet, into any lifestyle, and have it still be delicious, have it still be fun. So you don't have to sacrifice flavor and fun in order for it to be good.
What do you think?
She's just so knowledgeable. I love you to death, Carley.
I do,
I
too.
love your guts, babe.
I love your guts.
Go check her out, fairygutmother.com. She also loves when people reach out to her. Hit her up on Instagram, Facebook, but email. What's your email, Carley?
It's just my name, Carley, CARLEY, @fairygutmother.com.
Hit her up. She'll answer some questions for you. Thanks, Carley. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. See you later.
There she is, Carley Smith, the Fairy Gutmother. Coming up next is Aspen Baking Company, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Cody Ann LaCouture is on
She's
hold.
standing by?
Yeah.
All right,
yeah.
let's go to break. We'll be right back. Cody Ann up next. The Modern Eater Show continues.
Brews is back. Hi, I'm Charlie Gottenkenny, brewmaster at Brews Beers. We have finally reopened, and our badass Belgian-style beers are flowing. Brews Beers has a huge selection of great beers on draft. Belgian IPAs, doubles, triples, white beers, saisons, and many more. Stop by our brewery tap room at 67th and Pecos in North Denver and bring your dog. Or swing by Brews Off Fax on the south side of Colfax in York. Both tap rooms are open from 2 to 9 p.m. 7 days a week. There are large outdoor patios at both locations, and for your protection, Brews is following all CDC guidelines inside and out. You can still order beers from our website, brewsbeers.com, or come by to take out cans, bottles, and growlers. And once again, you can enjoy our great beers in our tap rooms. Brews Beers, back open with plenty of Belgian-style badassery.
Hey guys, it's Brian Rizzuto with Encore Energy, the guy who saves your businesses money on natural gas. I know these are crazy, crazy times right now. So while your business is working on increasing your sales, let me work on saving you guys money on your natural gas. I make it as easy as possible. Just provide 12 months worth of natural gas bills to me. I'll do the rest. I know you're really busy, so let me get to work for you. You can reach me at 720-245-5771. I look forward to hearing from you guys, and let me try to save you some money in these crazy times. Bye.
We started Meridium Spirits because we love the way that spirits and cocktails can bring people together to socialize, to bond, to have conversations. Well, right now we've got some big conversations to have. Coop Vodka and Coop Gin are available at liquor stores across the metro area, but if you can't find us or would like to have us behind your bar or at your restaurant, send us an email, info@meridiumspirits.com. We know things are a little different these days, but think of us the next time you're planning a virtual happy hour or a socially distant picnic. And keep an eye on our social media, Coop by Meridium, for all the latest and greatest.
Hey, Dave Thibodeau here. Hey, friends of the Modern Eater. This is Dave Thibodeau from Ska Brewing and Peach Street Distillers. I wanted to let you know that our new brew distillery is up and running again in Boulder. And we've got a great selection of Ska beers, nearly 30 on tap. We've also got all of our Peach Street spirits available, a great mixology program that we brought down from the Western Slope in Palisade. We're open limited hours, Wednesday through Friday from 3 to 10. And then we open up earlier at 10 a.m. on Saturday and Sunday and get some brunch action rolling. We have 2 great patios. Socially distant seating is available. And you can always check for more information at scastreet.com and hope we become your new favorite neighborhood spot. And I'd like to meet you there in the not too distant future for a beer or a drink soon. So take care, be healthy, and stay strong. And I'll talk to you later.
Okay, welcome back. The Modern Eater Show continues. And, Brian, during the break there, man,
What did I do?
Well, the poop transplants.
It opened a door.
Yes, it did. How do you figure out who you want your donor to be?
The whole thing is bizarre.
Smell.
It's not like
Yeah.
How is there a test?
terrible,
Like, does Carly?
terrible.
Because we all got that test from Carly, and that's why
I need to land natural separation here. Okay, that topic is gone, and now we're going to tell you to order food tickets. The modern summerdinnerseries.com, right? Okay, that's
summerdinnerseries.com.
Yep, we have tickets available. 7 more dinners left, and delicious ingredients as we went throughout the whole state to find the best of the best. And I can tell you, we had the best bread there last time.
You want to hear something funny?
Yes.
This weekend, my girlfriend came into town, and she went to this great little local place called Heine's.
Okay.
I don't know if you've heard of it. Been there forever. And guess what she brought home? She brought home a loaf of Aspen baking bread and a thing of Rome sausage. I said, I love you. This is like doing a Modern Eater show right here in my own kitchen.
Now, that is very impressive, but I thought she was going to say she brought home Cody Ann with her, which would have been way more impressive. Cody Ann, how are you? Good to see you again.
Hi, good to see you guys. That's awesome. We love Heine's Market.
Yeah.
So, just a quick question. You went to the dinner last week, right? But you left before dessert. You didn't like what dessert was on the menu?
Hey, I had to get home. I had to get home. It was absolutely amazing. Thank you guys so much for having us. It's always a good time, and the networking there is amazing. Zach Creeder is actually going to be at the bakery tomorrow. Colorado Mills, trying to transition all of our oil over.
Now, wait, that's
everything hyper local.
What time is he going to be there?
That is undetermined, but shortly before he goes over to the show.
Which would be cool. I didn't want to put my curse on it just because that would happen, but if wow, did you hear that?
I know.
It's potential
Yeah.
that Aspen Baking Company could start doing business with Colorado Mills Sunflower Oil, using their oil for their product, and I couldn't be happier if that happens.
Me too.
Jumping the gun. I'm thinking it's already going to happen because she probably wouldn't have said anything.
Well, it's such a killer oil.
Yeah.
And then they have such a killer bread.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't the two just get married,
Just get it done, just like that.
Yeah.
And then also, maybe, but you have a couple of trucks, and maybe you can get some of that oil on your trucks, too. I don't know. Just talk.
Oh, that'd be a great idea. Yeah. We're up to 13 distribution vehicles, which is great. Expanding, and we are actually expanding into the mountains now too. We've been in Vail, but we are expanding to Winter Park and Granby and all the places in between. So, anyone want some bread up there? Want to distribute it?
Awesome. Cody Ann, have you guys picked up? It was interesting. We spoke to a restaurateur the other day, Jay and I, and the restaurateur said, you know what, so many other restaurants have been closing that I'm just getting busier from that. Are you seeing that at all in the bread space?
A little bit recently. We lost an enormous amount of sales. In March. We lost almost $40,000 overnight with just one sale with box lunches. Wow. And the bakery was so much worse. We do have a lot of people calling in, emailing, asking to get bread set up, which is kind of bittersweet. Of course, we're super happy about it, but it's because our competitors haven't been able to stay open, or they're not able to make everything that they were making before, or they've had to cut down their distribution days. So I'm so thankful for Jeff Nations, the owner. He did everything to keep us afloat, and it's kind of starting to pay off, but unfortunately it's bittersweet. It could have been any of us.
Yeah, you keep going down the road, and you guys do so well. For those people that are not, they're like, okay, Aspen Baking Company, I think I've heard. But talk about what you do, the brand itself, and just familiarize people with you guys.
Absolutely. So we are local. We're coming up on 27 years in Denver, all natural, non-GMO, preservative-free. We do direct distribution 5 days a week. Everything's made to order the day before. We've got customer service team there 6 days a week. all of our customers have me, Hollis, or Crystal's number. We really love being close and creating those relationships with all of our customers. Our sourdough. We have a 70-year-old starter, which is amazing. But have you guys seen all of like the research and the articles coming out about sourdough?
Just the benefits of the sourdough and how it kind of gets back to the original type of what's good for your gut, actually?
Exactly. Yes, with the fairy Gutmother. So I'm not a chemist by any means, but basically the way that like the yeast and the water and the flour all react to each other, it becomes slightly acidic, which makes the flour easy to digest. So a lot of people with celiac are actually able to eat sourdough bread, which blew my mind up until the moment I found out.
Well, and if you were at our first summer dinner, you got to have Carrie Baird make you the sourdough batard. She used your sourdough batard for her fancy toast. Then that was super cool.
Awesome. Yes.
What the hell's a batard? I never heard of that term except last week. What's batard? Just a style?
A large loaf of bread.
Is it just the way the loaf is shaped, or where's that term come from?
Well, yeah, so it's an artisan loaf.
I should look that up.
But it's sort of round, too, isn't it? Is it round, or no? Am I off base with that?
Okay, so it is a shape. It's a
like an oval.
You're absolutely right, Cody Ann. A short loaf of French bread having an oval or oblong shape. So it's the shape batard.
Oh, okay.
It's the shape.
Did you Google that?
I did Google it. Yes, I did. Quickly. First thing that came up was bastard. Then nope, that's not it. It's the batard. And that's a cool term to throw in my back pocket there because I wasn't familiar with it until I saw Carrie put it on her menu. But all summer long, if the chefs, there are official bread baking company. It's Aspen Baking Company. Yeah. Local and delicious. I don't know what their secret is, but I think it's just the freshness and because I'm never unsatisfied with Aspen Baking Company bread. And if you go to a summer dinner series all summer long, they're our official bread company, and that's Aspen Baking Company. We love what you guys do. Anything new on the horizon? Any new types of bread coming out?
We actually, I can't tell you yet,
yes,
but we're in the process of a couple really, really, really great new recipes for some very big names in Denver. So you're sure to taste them out. And the mountains, that's a huge thing, just continuing to expand. That's it. And we've had a huge amount of growth with our sourdough, which is also now on Amazon, if anyone wants to buy it, with, people with some gut problems.
Yeah.
Well, Cody Ann, you guys are one of the things that you
new
could say
recipes for
never
big
frozen,
chefs.
always fresh, right?
Figure this out.
Because Greg, a thing that most people don't know, most of the bread you get in a grocery store has been frozen. Did you know that?
I hate to think. Are you sure?
Yep. Huh? Yep. Cody Ann, you can
almost all of it. Absolutely.
Yep. I was trying to not be so definite, but yeah, almost all bread is frozen at the grocery store at one point in its life, and it's scary. Whereas that's what's cool about Aspen Breaking, and that's what's so great about why it's fresh. It's because it's always fresh. Never frozen.
And you can get us on Amazon right now.
Amazon
Fresh. Got a whole wheat, Mexico, sourdough.
Cody Ann, I don't know where you are right now, but that lighting and just the way you look like an angel. You just look like an angel.
Oh, thank you. This is my studio apartment home office.
Oh, is that it? Oh, perfect. Well, fantastic. Thanks for letting us catch up with you. Will we see you at another dinner?
Absolutely. We're excited. Jeff, the owner of Aspen, he said the food was just amazing. You guys outdid all of his expectations. You guys always do.
We saved your dessert for you.
I'll come get that later this afternoon.
Hey, Cody Ann, before you run, do me a favor. Keep me posted on Zach coming down there, because if timing works, I'd love to come down and create some content, make a video or take some pictures. But
yeah, that'd be wonderful.
Yeah.
Don't bring Greg, because he doesn't follow the rules.
No, oh, I know. Yeah, he shows up in tank tops and sandals, and he goes throwing the hatchets through the thing. You know,
wearing his long chains and his earrings.
Yeah.
Hey, Cody Ann, could you do something like this? Hey, it's Cody Ann from Aspen Baking Company. We make delicious bread, but if you want news, you can get it right here on the Modern Eater Show. Food news. Can you say something?
Sure, you want me to do that right now?
Yeah, let's see if you can do it. I mean, no pressure, right? Hey, it's Cody Ann from Aspen Baking Company. We specialize in bread, but if you need food news, you can get it right here on the Modern Eater Show.
Hi, guys. It's Cody Ann from Aspen Baking Company. We specialize in fresh, preservative-free, amazing bread. But with all the food news, go right here to the Modern Eater. Is that what you wanted?
Yeah,
knocked it out of the park.
That's exactly what we wanted. Thank you. Do we have your permission to run that every single day until we get a new one?
Absolutely.
Thank you, Cody Ann. That's Cody Ann LaCouture, and love everything that you guys do. We'll catch up soon, and say hello to Jeffrey for us.
Will do. Thanks, guys.
Okay, there she is.
Bye.
Good to see Cody Ann. She's great at this. Should do this more often. You gonna be able to pull that off there?
Oh, yeah.
And here's we should do that a lot more.
I know, and it's
easier to do that way.
Well, no, I mean,
Right?
God, I want to say the
and
F
hey,
word
when,
and all kinds
when
of stuff.
I asked her to talk about Aspen Baking Company, I'll bet you could pull 30 seconds right out of there. That's perfect. She did such a great job.
I know so right now what I just did, I have to do certain things like take Brian's petard head out of the screen to record those things. You know what I mean?
But couldn't you put it over some B-roll, like have her there, and then put a couple pictures up during?
Yeah,
Brian's
I can take
petard head.
Yes, petard head. I could take the audio out, but you know what I mean. For ease of like simplicity to show the video with everything, like when you queued her up, my pill head kicked into action, and I'm like, get the stuff off the screen, right? So that it's just with her name and title, and so that'll work. But yes, the short answer is yes.
All right, I wrote as the poll today, could you harvest your own animals for consumption? The reason why I asked you that is I spent a great weekend at Gray Wolf Resort where I just connect back with animals and the land and learning. Just such a great learning opportunity with Nathan Rockwell and Blake DeHuff, and took the opportunity to just talk to them about food and agriculture and regenerative ranching and farming. I find this stuff so fascinating, but took some good pictures, had a wonderful drone flight. I mean, it couldn't have been any better, Jay. I'll let you be the judge of it, right? But I'm going to give you guys a treat. We'll come back. If you don't mind, Jay, we'll break away for just a minute. Come back, look at a couple pictures from the weekend, talk about some of the things that we learned or I learned down there. Brian, you'll be there this coming weekend, right? And we couldn't recommend Gray Wolf enough. To find them, I should put a link on. Oh, I've been wanting to do this all day. Hey, Faith, would you throw a link to Gray Wolf Resort onto the daily blog today to where people can get that, themoderneater.com, today's daily blog. We're going to throw a link to Gray Wolf Resort. We'll be back in a flash. We'll show you some cool stuff from Gray Wolf when we come back next on the Modern Eater Show.
Hey guys, Chris Johnson here, owner of Rome Sausage, your hyper-local source for all things sausage awesomeness. My family is proud to carry on the fine traditions of Rome's founder, Jerry Rome, by producing a variety of amazing sausage in small batches with an eye on quality, not quantity. Every batch is made here in the great state of Colorado by hand mixing spices, utilizing lean cuts of pork to make an outstanding product. Sourcing ingredients and materials locally, we are committed to supporting local vendors, chefs, restaurants, and the entire Colorado food scene. Getting hungry yet? Brats, Italian, breakfast, hot Polish, green chili, chicken apple, and the world's best chorizo. You can source all of our sausage through a variety of food service distributors. If your distributor doesn't carry it, call us. We'll come direct. You want a custom item? We'll do that too. Samples, and of course, sausage jokes, can be had by contacting me directly at chris@romesausage.com or by phone at 303-296-7663. The Modern Eater loves Rome Sausage, and I know you will too.
Hey, Zach Ryder here, Colorado Mills Sunflower Products out of Lamar, Colorado. Your only local source, grown from a local crop to produce a local oil for local chefs. You can find it at Shamrock Foods, What Chefs Want, Seattle Fish Company. Let me try it one more time, then we'll see. Hey, restaurants, we're glad you're reopening. From Colorado Mills Sunflower Oil, we'll see you soon.
First, we partner with the best farmers in the world, and then we tell them, we will take it all. Process whole spices daily, blend custom spices to order, keep it fresh, safe, and flavorful, all so that you can get back to doing what you do best. So whether you're a restaurant, a food manufacturer, or an at-home cook, be sure to visit The Spice Guy at www.
All right, that link will be on themoderneater.com on the daily blog here in just a minute for Grey Wolf Resort. But right now I want to tell you about Jeff Rourke and A-Plus Beverage Solutions. Why do I tell you about Jeff Rourke and A-Plus Beverage Solutions? Well, he pays us to.
And he does a damn good job.
Beyond that, he's the man. He's who you would want to represent this category. And he, speaking of paying us, has been the longest-running sponsor of the Modern Eater Show. If there is anything you can say is that the man is loyal and he loves to support community, and we couldn't thank him more for that. It means so much to have those advertising dollars come to the Modern Eater and be consistent throughout as many years as he can, and that's Jeff Rourke and A-Plus Beverage Solutions, a family man. He's family-owned and operated. He's been in the business for 20 years, and he does a damn good job at installing tap lines of your dreams, whatever you want. If you can dream it up, Jeff Rourke can put it together for you. We were down at Beast and Brews this past weekend, 100 taps of self-serve. Yeah. That's not an easy thing to do.
No.
He dials it all in, Tap 14, Monarch Casino, you name it. If it's pouring delicious craft beer, probably Jeff Rourke did it. Do you need to clean a line, add a line? Jeff Rourke and A-Plus Beverage Solutions, because sometimes it just doesn't make sense. If it doesn't make dollars, it doesn't make sense, and there's some terrible tap lines out there pouring inefficient beer. And if you're pouring inefficient beer, what are you doing, boys?
You're pouring your money down the drain.
Don't pour your money down the drain. Get a hold of him. Jeff Rourke, A-Plus Beverage Solutions, 720-272-3809. 720-272-3809. Jeff Rourke, A-Plus Beverage Solutions. Back to the show. Grey Wolf Resort. Why do we speak so highly about it? It's a really cool educational place to where you can go and just relax. Take a couple of days. Learn about the land. Learn about agriculture. They've got a ton of an array of, how many animals can you name that they raise there at Grey Wolf Resort?
Well, that they raise or they have. Let's say they have, because they have a few that they don't raise.
Like what?
Llama. They just keep the llama
Got
there
him. Got him.
as a guard dog. That's a guard dog. But
So-
I'll name something for you.
Okay, go ahead.
We got a llama.
Yep.
We got pigs.
Yep.
We've got goats.
Yep.
We've got dogs.
Yep.
We've got some horses.
Uh-huh.
We've got some chickens, -4.
No horses yet. Donkeys.
Oh, that's right. Donkeys. And some cows.
Some cows.
They got a couple of the
Yep.
steers.
Yep.
Steers, they would say. Turkey.
Yep.
Goose.
Yep.
Chickens. Yep, chickens.
Did you say
I said
chicken?
-4, remember?
Okay.
Yep.
What else? What else are we missing? You said the pigs. You said the goats.
Said the pigs.
You said the lambs. It's a lot.
I miss the lambs, I think.
A lot. Here's a picture of Grey Wolf Resort. This was an overhead, just a killer drone shot right there.
And that place is just always changing, isn't it? I mean, I think I was there 2 weeks ago. They have replaced the fountain. It looks like they painted the office.
The fountain there, yep, the fountain's back up and running. Just an overhead look. If you look to the far left, that's a fire pit. If you down far left, mid-screen, that's like a cooking area. To the right, kind of there, I don't know, with the small cabins, places that I don't know how you would describe them.
I think small cabin places works.
Yeah, the main building
Tiny
there,
houses.
the barn.
Tiny houses.
Well, I don't know as though anybody lives in them, though. You
Well,
know.
Those ones you can see in this
Yeah.
photo, I think, are storage and you know.
But at one time, one of those guys has lived in there. Because remember, the first year we went out, they were living in the sheds.
Fresh daily eggs.
Yep.
This
Face
little
only a mother could love.
Oh, this dog could chew your shoe up, and you just smile. Just a cute face on that dog. This is part of where military trains to do kind of field dressing animals, outdoor cooking. as you can see right there, there's a big pit, and in that big pit's where they really start the fire, and then there's a dispersion of 3 or 4 different cooking areas in there, and then underneath that teepee type thing where you see the animal pelts, that's really just a smoking area. So those pelts are to keep in the smoke.
Interesting. So like an outdoor smoker, like a true outdoor smoker.
Just a makeshift little bench for serving bench right there. Pigs. That's the Mangalista.
Mangalista.
I'm not saying it right still.
Mangalisa, I think you are. Mangalisa. Jay?
Mangalista.
No, that's wrong too.
That's what I said.
That's wrong too.
But don't they have 2 kinds there? They have the Mangalisa and the one other one, don't
you
they?
want me to Google it? I'll Google it.
Yeah, do that. Turkey.
One of the more friendly turkeys you'll ever meet, by the way.
One of the chickens that we harvested and ate.
Okay. I was almost right. Mangalitsa.
Yeah, Lista.
No.
Litsta.
Litsa.
Litsa.
Litsa. ITSA.
There's Nate. There's the final product when the chickens turned into tacos.
Beef caking it up.
Look at this, just great place. So, do you see the hay cover that they have in this room in particular? You'll find this sprinkled all over their gardens as cover.
Yeah.
So the ecosystem that they're building in there is perfect for gardens.
That's actually interesting because you'd think normally the alfalfa, because that looks like an alfalfa hay versus straw. I've heard of farmers throwing down straw, but that's pretty cool.
This is inside the luxury suite or the cabin up top of the barn, which really do yourself a favor. That's probably where ultimately you would want to stay. More piggies. Chickens. And just really connecting. Did
they throw all those in that smoker that they have there?
They did.
Gosh, that thing. Did it turn out just as good as the last time we were there?
It was perfect. It was absolutely perfect.
Yeah, I'm going to have them do chickens and lamb in that thing for me. I'm bringing up a leg of lamb.
So you guys, when you see this isn't something to where, all right, the modern eater gets to go someplace cool, and thanks for showing us, guys. We'll never get to go there. No, you can do this.
Yeah.
You can have this.
And you should do this.
And you can have this same experience. And actually, guys, from the last video we did for these folks, there were some folks from Wisconsin who were watching that video who came and booked that because of the video that Jay put together.
From 2 years ago. Or was it last year?
I'm not sure if it was just the last visit that we had there or from a year prior. But here's some cool aerial footage. Right? I mean, you be the judge of it. I'm trying to get down. But I can kind of tell you what, and Brian, you can set this up too, but this is the back portion of that large barn as we go forward. So
they're garden off to the left there.
Yep. This is the back end of the property. And that water feature was cool to see back up and running again. But you can see very mountainous. And as you look to, and just up that way, so camera, if you went just 12 o'clock and went all the way up, not anymore, but that's where Pikes Peak would be. So it's southwest of Pikes Peak, and it took me a while to wrap my mind around where that location was, but just southwest of Pikes Peak. And you look around, and it doesn't seem like you're in any kind of mountainous areas, right, because you're on top of the world. Yeah. You're 10,200 feet. And so that kind of gives you a look around there. Look at that. Do you see the propellers from the drone?
I was going to say that. I like that. What an incredible place. I mean,
but
really
there's your
is.
surroundings.
And people think it's a little rustic, but that's actually what makes it such a great place in my eyes. I think when you look out at their garden and it's you
have the best of everything out there, right? So, I mean, you can get as rugged as you want, but then you can also take a jacuzzi bath at the end of the night, So it's if I'm planning on having a date, and that's high on my, because she wants to camp, but I don't know how she wants to camp, right? So it's like that's in my back pocket to do the Gray Wolf things, where we can, harvest our own dinner and then still take a bubble bath.
Wow, Jay. Sounds like quite the date. So just look at how beautiful that is, and good camera shot right there. The drone work is excellent.
Great job to that drone pilot.
Well, you just got to get a little steadier on that. But
Must be out at the Air Force Base, probably.
Freeman, I told you I had to lie to Amazon to get that other drone back, all right?
I don't even know what that means. But check out this one. I was particularly fond of this shot as I just had it hover right there.
Very famous author right there.
There's Don. That's Nate's father coming out of there. And he just doesn't even care, sitting there staring at him. Doesn't even care. Here's my one near hit to where it almost hit into the building. Here it is right here. I put it on orbit, right? I thought, I'll be able to orbit just right in the yard. Here it is. We're starting to orbit. It's going around. The back end of this thing's going to hit the house, right? Just literally is going to. There's me going, oh. So I push up. So I'm going up now as we orbit. So near miss to the house.
Well, let me ask you this question. And if you're somebody who's near and dear to the Modern Eater, you know that Greg, on our road trip, crashed the drone that we had about 14 to 18 times right in the middle there. So where did this drone come from?
Well, this was the last drone was defective, so I had to send that one back.
Yeah.
And this is the replacement drone, which seems to be a little bit better. But I will tell you, it did fall out of the sky once, but not too. This particular model has a tendency to just want to fall right out of the sky.
Yeah.
So that last defective one, I had to send
that
back.
last defective one, that had a thing with crashing into tripods and buildings. And
so look at this. I even figured out follow mode. The drone is following me right now. As I walk down, I was going to go play with those.
Are you the one controlling the camera up and down like that?
Yes, I was actually, as I'm getting to know that a little bit better. But as I can tell you, as soon as I was able to lock on to these cows, they didn't like it at all. But I loved it, and so here's me playing with the cows. These guys square up on them.
The cool thing is at least this drone doesn't seem like the first year model, which wanted to just go really far away. The first model that we had.
See, look at these guys.
They're like, hey, we're just trying to eat some sagebrush.
Yeah, look, they're like, all right, that's it. So I thought that was a cool shot. Just if I could have followed them.
Yeah, it is cool.
Well, then I did that. So, and there's that cooking area, Brian. That's a cool.
Yeah, that smoker is so neat.
So do yourselves a favor. We'll put more information, but if you go to themoderneater.com, click on today's blogs. There's links there from Miss Faith. Put them up, and you can have your own experience at Grey Wolf Resort. And I think as we get to know these guys, we're also going to have some opportunities for some giveaways.
That was exciting conversation. I remember that. Yeah.
So today's show, I really loved it, talking to Chef Kelly Whitaker and doing some cool things with grains and flours, and Wolf Tailor and Basta just trying to get their footing back again. And Chef Kelly Whitaker does such a great job. Sonia Riggs, Colorado Restaurant Association, just got a call from another restaurateur that had watched the show, but it's like, what information do you guys have on Colorado? As we just heard that the California governor has ordered for dining in to shut down in California, along with bars as well. And if you know anything about Colorado, we really don't think independently. We just look for states like California to see what they do, and we do it next. So what does that mean? We have Summer Dinner Series. The only thing I can think, and selfishly, obviously this is not about us, but if that was to happen, I believe Summer Dinner Series would probably still be good to go because we're outdoors doing al fresco dining.
We're a private event, I think, is maybe our loophole.
The way, and I don't know how that would work out, but again, I think we're okay as far as outdoor dining goes, and I'm going to look more into this, but you can be guaranteed we'll have some guests on tomorrow and maybe go to California, find a restaurant in California that we can talk to. Right in the distance there, Jay, do you have this up?
Nipple Peak.
No.
That's Nipple Mountain. No joke.
Hold on a second.
That's Nipple Mountain.
I didn't. Let me put you in here. There you go. Nipple Mountain.
That's Nipple Mountain, and I think appropriately titled Nipple Mountain. But if you look around, you go, gosh, you guys were in the mountains. Are you sure? Right?
Yeah.
We're top of the mountains.
What was the altitude up there?
10,200.
Yeah.
Almost double Denver, right?
Mm-hmm.
at 5280. So tomorrow's show will be a lot about, okay, what happens if Colorado shuts down our dining rooms? I have to tell you, I would fear for some of the results. And what I mean is there's a lot of law-abiding restaurant owners and operators that may be forced into making some difficult decisions, let's just say.
Well, and it's tricky because, either you go with it or you don't. Either way, I don't think there's a good option, Greg. I think that and unfortunately, on top of that, I don't think our government is doing a good job in communication, because if they were getting in front of this and doing things like what some of these other places are doing, like the fact that we found more information from Colorado Restaurant Association than we did from our own government about this, that's a problem. And right now, I think there should be a government official reaching out to everyone saying, don't be stressed. California's doing their thing. We're going to evaluate what we're doing here. But it doesn't seem like that's the kind of leadership we have right now, unfortunately.
Well, it's developing now, and we'll know more tomorrow. We will follow this, the Modern Eater Show. And, again, we'll wrap it up for today, themoderneater.com, the daily blog. If you want to look back on what we've done for today, look forward to having that on a daily basis. We'll have a daily blog out for you with all the information for the day's show. SummerDinnerSeries.com, that's where you can get all the ticket information. I've got a couple of banners I need to correct. I put the wrong dates on. Damn it, I just can't do anything right the first time around. I just can't. We'll get that cleaned up for you. We're really looking forward to it. The next Summer Dinner Series, a week from tomorrow, from Studio Kitchen, Colorado, for Faith Johnson, for Jay Parker, and for Brian Freeman. I'm Greg Hollenbach. We'll see you back here tomorrow, same time, same place, 2 p.m. The Modern Eater Show continues.